Hello, Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Faith Vailoces-No.
You're watching
Silliman. Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University, a program initiated to discuss matters concerning the campus by the sea. Welcome, everyone, to #Silliman. Hello there, Sillimanians. Thank you very much for making #Silliman your Monday night habit. And today is September 16th. Right? And in the month of September, we celebrate Peace Consciousness Month. And here in the Philippines, it's actually the start of the Christmas season. So I hope that you can now feel the breeze of the Christmas air. But before that, here in Silliman University and #Silliman, let's give a spotlight to our student orgs and let's get to know them more. And tonight, we have guests from our campus ambassadors. And I'll give them the floor to introduce themselves. Let's start with Jed.
Good evening, Sillimanians. My name is Culanculan. I'm a fourth-year financial management student.
Thank you very much, Jed, and welcome to #Silliman.
Good evening, Sillimanians. My name is Zild Teves, but I'm also called as Zed, and I'm a second-year psychology student here in Silliman.
From Jed to Zed. Next.
Ngayong gabi, Sillimanians, I am Jhassiah Buenavista, Albon, a second-year student taking a Bachelor of Science in Psychology.
Welcome, Kent, and
Hey, empowered Sillimanians, my name is Raelyn, but you can call me Ray, and I'm also a second-year psychology student. And we're from the Silliman University Corps of Campus Ambassadors.
so welcome, Jed, Zed, Kent, and Ray.
Yes.
All right. Tell me, what is being a campus or what is campus ambassador all about?
Okay, so the Silliman University Corps of Campus Ambassadors, Ms. Ron, we are a voluntary organization that is directly under the administration of Silliman University. Yes, we are actually an institutional organization for that matter. So as our duties fall, we tour guests around the campus. Aside from that, we also usher in events. And given the opportunity, we also do school campaigns. But that was before the pandemic.
Oh.
So yeah, we're still transitioning back to that. And then it's also important to note, Ms. Ron, that campus ambassadors are not mere tour guides.
Yeah.
So tour guides, as the name suggests, they merely guide. But for campus ambassadors, we do more than that. We market Silliman University. So it falls in our line of duty to give people an excellent first impression of Silliman University, as well as provide them with their best Silliman experience.
So you mentioned you market Silliman University. Aside from tour guiding tourists and guests from different parts of the world, how else do you market Silliman?
So we definitely market Silliman through our experiences and as well as through our social media platforms as well. So marketing Silliman to us, it's not just about giving the guests a glimpse of what Silliman is all about, but it's also about being really at the forefront when it comes to welcoming, especially the freshmen. So for example, this year we held our One Big Tuyok. So that's where we tour all of the freshmen around the campus to give them a guide or a glimpse of what it really is about to be in Silliman. So I think that's really one of the ways where we can share our experiences as campus ambassadors.
Thank you very much for that, Zed. Now, Kent, why did you decide to join the Corps of Campus Ambassadors?
That's actually a really interesting story for me because back then when I was still applying for here in Silliman University, going around the campus, I kept seeing students wearing red polos. And I was like, what are these people doing? Because I see them doing a lot of stuffs during guests, and I think that when I entered here in Silliman University, I really wanted to put myself out there. And when I found out that the Corps is recruiting, I really saw that it is a great opportunity for me to be able to improve myself as well as to really know more about what I can do here in Silliman University as well.
Since we're talking about your stories and experiences of being campus amba, I think it's just right to ask all of you about your AMBA story. How about you, Ray? What's your AMBA story?
Well, actually, ma'am, it actually started with my love for Silliman, of course. I've been here for almost all of my life, since early childhood up until college. And I felt that even with my seniors back in the day, they would encourage me to join campus ambassadors. And at that time, I really didn't know what it was all about. Like, what is a campus ambassador? What do they do? And out of curiosity, I wanted to join in a way, but I waited for a sign for if really it's for me, you know. So I had this experience in the classroom where a campus ambassador at that time, he actually approached me and gave me a calling card. And I felt that like maybe this is really the sign that I have been waiting for. So that's when I stepped into the panel interview.
All right. So how about you, Jed? Was the recruitment process challenging? Was it difficult? Yeah.
For me, I grew up kasi Miss Ron with campus ambassadors around me. Like when I was a senior high, I was already roommates with campus ambassadors. So basically, I was like molded to be one. And when I entered my first year in Silliman University, there was that pressure as well on my shoulders. Na, oh, what if I don't get in? Will I disappoint these friends of mine? So yeah, that was my pressure at that time. So that was my challenge, overcoming that pressure.
So how was the recruitment process?
It was hard
Like-
considering that public speaking has always been something that I really enjoy, but never really got around to like exploring. Because as a business student, I used to be an accountancy student before I shifted. So, syempre, it's not the field that you get to speak a lot.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to try. I really wanted to try. So, the recruitment part was hard for me since I had to tap na into that public speaking na field, which is not usually what we do in my course.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Chet. How about you, Zed?
Well, as opposed to my fellow ambas here who have their very inspiring stories,
Yes.
I actually enrolled in Silliman University with only one thing in my mind, is that I wanted to step out of my comfort zone. So what better way to do that than to join an org, right? So I was scrolling through Facebook and then I saw the PubMat of them recruiting. I was like, okay, let's join this. So I just went in there blindly. And of course, I think it was just God's way of directing me to a right path in my life. In college, especially when you're all new. And then in AMBA, I really found my home. So I was really thankful that although I didn't have anyone in the past who, urged me to be an AMBA, I got there at some point in my life. And I think that's really one of the things I'm very thankful for this year.
No, thank you very much for sharing your stories. No, as campus ambassadors, you must know every corners of the university. You must know the history of every buildings here. So I'd like to ask each one of you, what do you think is the building that has most interesting story for you? Sige, Kent.
For me, I really love Silliman Hall because for every story that happened here in Silliman University, it started in that specific building.
Yes.
Basically, it was everything in Silliman University back then. And so hearing all of these stories and going there knowing that Silliman was built through that, it's really just amazing that you get to be able to feel that as well as to know more of that as well.
And what was the gate there? Besides Silliman Hall, it's the gate of
Opportunity.
Yeah. And then, how many gates do we have here? Pa-quiz! Okay, what are the gates that we have here at Silliman University? Gates of opportunity,
Gates of
Service.
service.
No.
Where is that located for the benefit of
in-
the audience? And then
It's near the flags area, ma'am.
the flag area. Okay, and then
We also have the Gate of Knowledge, which is located near the portal East and West. And we
Okay.
also have the Gate of Discovery, which is located at the IAMS Gate, so the Institute of Environmental Marine Sciences.
and the fifth gate is
The fifth gate is actually located in an island owned by Silliman University. That's Ticao Island in Masbate. So it's the
Alright.
Gate of Grace.
So five. Opportunity, service, discovery, knowledge, and grace. Wow. So we have 5 gates in Silliman University. Now, I'd like to ask also Raelyn, what's the most interesting background story of a building or a place or spot here in Silliman University?
Mine would be the Silliman Church, ma'am. Because given that we are a Christ-centered institution, I
Yes.
think that the story of the church is really inspiring because it has undergone 2 major experiences or major events in Philippine history, including the martial law and the Japanese sneak attack in Pearl Harbor. And I think that I really enjoy touring guests around that area because we are able to expound more on the whole person education, and we are also able to expound more that we have mandates that also commemorate that Silliman is developing students with highest quality education and through the 5 C's.
Well, thank you very much for that, Raelyn. No, a trip back to memory lane. No, and Kent and Raelyn, thank you very much for sharing your insights about the different spots here in Silliman University. And I bet Jed and Zed has also their own favorite place here or spot here in Silliman University. But let's first take a short break, and when we come back, let's talk about what are the perks of being a campus AMBA, and of course the challenges being, you know, part of an organization at the same time students also of your own courses, and a sister, a daughter, perhaps. Do you still have love life? Time for love life? Let's know more about that when #Silliman returns.
Silliman University is a crossroad for many different individuals, from students, teachers, artists, and alumni.
But we bring these paths together as Silliman University's frontliners.
Share the university's history
Share the community's culture.
and be part of the crossroads we connect as one of Silliman University's frontliners.
Be a campus ambassador.
Meet, travel, and lead with us.
Silliman University, a place where every corner tells a story of dedication, growth, and excellence. But beyond our classrooms, our school has fostered a revolution against waste. Our story is a passionate call for environmental responsibility, directly tackling waste challenges often faced by big institutions. And this all began with a move in the right direction, the bold step to reinforce policies and firmly ban plastics in campus. This is the Silliman University Waste Management Success Story.
Here at Silliman University, we take a role as stewards of God's creation seriously. Thus, it was imperative for us to develop environment principles, policies, and guidelines.
Silliman University has published, after approval of the Board of Trustees, its guidelines, principles, and policies on environmental sustainability. And zero waste plastic, or a plastic ban, is part of that.
Taking care of the environment is not an easy task. It requires passion, commitment, resilience, and initiative. Change does not happen overnight, so we can only do so much. In Silliman University, students are expected to go beyond what's expected. And so, for every event that they organize, they are required to submit protocols and zero waste management plan before their events are given approval.
At Silliman University, our education transcends textbooks.
At Silliman, this isn't just a bag, it's a stance against disposable culture.
We're taught to be stewards of the earth. Every reusable bottle, every cloth bag, and every sustainable choice we make stems from a profound lesson that our actions, however small, shape our future.
So Silliman University as an educational institution is in a very unique position to be able to teach the students from early childhood all the way up to college these environmental principles to help them rethink their lifestyles and their consumption patterns to choose products that are kinder to the environment.
Silliman University operates a materials recovery facility wherein the Buildings and Grounds Department segregates the waste materials into 3 categories: recyclables, biodegradables, and residuals. The recyclable materials are processed and retained in the facility. Meanwhile, the residuals are collected by the Environmental and Natural Resources Office of Dumaguete and are deposited to the Bayawan City landfill.
Silliman University is living proof that our commitment is not only to education but also to protecting our planet and to our community. These principles, policies, and guidelines that our university has outlined, they are not only a set of rules and policies, they are a promise to our youth and to our planet. A promise that we should take care of our natural resources, our flora and our fauna here in our university as well. With this, we are encouraging the youth to take action and inflict positive change with regards to the different environmental pressing issues in our society today.
Our school is not only committing to a greener tomorrow, but also building a culture where environment is a priority. Through simple and collective actions, we strive for a greener, cleaner future for all, and most importantly, a hopeful today.
These are Silliman's ways of not only protecting our world, but also making it a better place. Here's to a responsible environmental behavior.
And we're back. Thank you very much for staying with us. Before we took a short break, I asked our ambassadors, what are the perks and challenges of being part of the core of campus ambassadors at Silliman University? Jed, would you like to answer?
For the perks?
Yes, for the perks.
One thing that I can think about, ma'am, is for me, being a campus ambassador is really a door to many opportunities. The moment I became a campus ambassador, that's when I got to, because here in the core, we don't just grow inside, we also grow outside of the core as well.
Yeah.
And that's why I got to be part of like Silliman University Student Government. I also got to be part of COMELEC and other organizations.
So you're all over the place. Do you
But
still
not
have...
at the same time.
Okay. But do you... Of course, not at the same time. Kung hindi, baka sumakabali ang buhay ka na. But anyway, how do you manage those things? Like, you have a lot of organizations, you joined a lot of organizations, but you are also a student, a financial student, right? So how do you do time management? Do you still have time for love life and whatnot?
Initially, I really found it hard to manage everything because I mentioned earlier that I was first an accountancy student, which is also a very demanding course. And aside from that, I have these organizations on my plate. And it made me just, I think like my love for the core made me also reassess the path that I wanted to take in life. And so that's when the time that I shifted to financial management. And by the time I shifted, I was able to handle it better.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Jed. Now, Zed, what are the perks of being a campus AMBA and then the challenges that you have experienced so far? In your 1 year, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's definitely a lot on both sides of the spectrum. So first is the perks, of course. When you meet people from different walks of life, you really get a glimpse of what it is to be like when you're handling people of different personalities. And in addition to that, these people who are from different walks of life are also people of different backgrounds. So we get to meet high-profile people, we get to meet people who are of importance as well. So, and sometimes they do give us really good opportunities, especially with our career paths. So we had one ambassador, Kuya Timothy Libres. He toured Maria Ressa of Rappler. And so after he toured her, she was able to offer him an internship in Rappler as a mass comm student.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the really good perks we have as campus ambassadors, is that since we are at the forefront of welcoming Silliman University, we also walk with these guests outside of Silliman University.
Yeah, you mentioned about the perks, no? And shout out to Tim. No, I hope you are watching with us. Watching us pala. But anyway, what are the challenges you've encountered?
One of the really main challenges is really finding your why as to why you continue to stay in the core.
Why?
Especially with a lot of commitments, as what Jed has mentioned. It's really about finding your commitment, and I think one of the ways that we really get to face those challenges is through your family. So here in the core, I think unlike any other organization, we really have a family bond, a really tight-knit bond with each other. And I think that's the reason why we continue on staying, because we're working with people that we actually love.
Yeah. And the support system is really solid and strong. No? Thank you very much, Zed. Now, Kent, I'd like to ask you, how does being a campus AMBA hone you as a student and as a person?
Well, when I became an campus ambassador, I really learned a lot of things about myself, because for context, back then when I was still in junior high school, I really do not know how to speak at all. Like when you put me in front of the stage or in front of the class, I would be just like trembling.
Stage fright.
Yeah, stage fright. And during the pandemic, I decided to hone myself, and that's when I decided to be a better public speaker. But I thought that point of me was like the best that I can do. But the moment I became a campus ambassador, it really gave me a lot of opportunities to know more about what I can do and to know more about what I would be able to give to other people as well. So it's really a training ground where you are able to grow, and not in really that much, but you get to learn more from yourself as well, and also because of the family that we have.
Yes.
The more that you engage with your fellow campus ambassadors, the more they give you experiences, and these experiences are something that you can take as well, and something that you can bring the moment you become a campus ambassador.
Now, while learning with others, you discover more a lot about yourself, right? How about you, Ray? How does the campus ambassador shape you as a student and as a person?
Well, as a student, I primarily just focus on my studies and organizations. But it was here in Campus Ambassadors when I joined that I realized that you can also love the people that you're working with.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes when we join organizations, we're more focused on volunteer work or just work in general. But it was here in the core that I realized that you can have fun and work effectively at the same time. And I feel like it's the same with me with Kent when I also was that kid who would be shy in speaking or like public speaking. I would hate it and dread it in high school.
Yeah.
But it was when I entered the core that I saw that this can help me develop my full potential as a public speaker.
And I can see that, you know, you're very articulate when you answer the questions and very confident. No? But my question is that also, what does it take, especially for those who are watching and they might, you know, entice to join campus, the core of campus ambassadors? What does it take to be a campus amba? Do you have to be intelligent? Do you have to be articulate? Do you have to be confident? Or you can just come as you are, and then the campus amba will hone you to become, you know, to have the, you know, potential that's needed for being an ambassador. Sige, what does it take? Chan?
For me, it's a bit of both, ma'am.
Yeah.
Because it does help if you are already articulate and confident in the first place. But in our organization, we also look for raw talent.
Raw talent.
Yes. If we look at a person and is this person moldable? Is this person trainable?
Or teachable.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think the term we're really looking for is someone authentic. So someone we can really train, someone who can, it's like a sponge wherein they can take in a lot of the training and the mentorship that we have. Because the one thing I really love about AMBA is that you're surrounded with people who intimidate you. And it's these people that really bring you out of your comfort zone, and then you become these people in the future. So yeah, I think that's one of the things that we really shape here in AMBA.
You know, when you take on a challenge, it will only make you better,
Yes.
no? Then, yeah, Ken, what does it take to become a campus ambassador?
For me, the training in AMBA is something that is really unconscious. I mean, you really are trained to be a campus ambassador, and you are thrown with some of the challenges, some of the questions that you really need to take in. But the more you keep on answering these things that are thrown at you, the more you know more, the more you experience how to critically think, as well as to have initiatives in all aspects in life. Because it's also really important that as campus ambassadors, we are always ready. And that's something that we really want all the campus ambassadors to have, to be able to work under pressure, to be able to think directly, because you're, of course, the frontliner, you're a marketing arm. So there are different challenges that will be thrown at you when you're doing campaigns, you're ushering or touring. So it's really important that you know how to act on that specific moment.
No, from just listening from you, it was really a difficult job, no, and a challenging one. Now, Ray, what are the other characteristics that one must possess to become a campus amba?
Well, for a disclaimer, we do not expect you to be perfect the moment you enter to be a campus ambassador. But I think that it's really rooted on your love for Silliman. Because here in the core, actually, one of the things that I love about it is that we are the people who share the same love for Silliman, and that is why we do our best to market it. But most importantly, you're inspired by your seniors who have come before you and who are the ones who mentor you to be a good campus ambassador. And apart from that, you also get to practice grace under pressure, because then again, you are facing people with different walks of life. And especially as an extroverted person, it was also the opportunity for me to get to know people and make connections with these people. At the same time, make certain that they have the best Silliman experience they have here in the campus.
Yeah, thank you very much for all the things that you've said, no? It's nice to think that being a campus ambassador will truly hone a person to become better, no? But before entering or joining the organization, some might be doubtful, some might have self-doubt, some are not as confident as you are now. And what's your advice for those who are willing to join but are doubting themselves? Right? Sige, Jed.
What we always say, Miss Ron, is just be yourself. Do not try to be someone you're not, because that will show when you apply for the core.
Okay. How about you, Zed? What's your advice?
Well, my advice really is just to put yourself out there. If you're scared, do it scared. And, you know, be open to be vulnerable, and be open to being taught that you will come out with competence in the face of challenge.
Yeah. Pang Miss Silliman, I think we have a candidate next year or this year, but thank you very much, Zed. So according to Jed, be yourself, and according to Zed, if you're scared, do it scared. Yes, Kent?
I think I would bank on with what Jed said, that you really just need to be yourself. Channel what you have, because you really have that drive to be a campus ambassador, because I think it's also something that we have as well. We really wanted to be there. And the moment that we put ourselves out there, we're just being ourselves, because after all, we see the potential or the skill of an individual, but it's up to you how you will channel the potential and you allow the core for you to grow as a campus ambassador.
Yeah, authenticity is really important, no? Everyone else is taken, no? You just have to be yourself. No, and Ray, yeah.
Well, as for me, it would be being stern and why you applied to be a campus ambassador in the first place. Well, some of us were inspired by our seniors to join as a campus ambassador, and I feel like that should be your driving force on what goal or what you want to attain when you join the core of campus ambassadors. And I feel like for me, it was fulfilling to join the core with the hopes of learning from these seniors, learning from these people who have inspired me throughout my academic life, and to be in the same room with them and being mentored by them personally and directly was a great opportunity for me. And it reminded me every time that this is why I joined the core. This is why I would love to keep staying in the core.
So know your why.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much. So I guess all the listeners and audience who are watching us might be interested on how could they join, or how could they join the campus ambassador, the core of campus ambassadors? Are you recruiting at this point in time? And what's the process? Please walk us through the process of being one.
All right, Sillimanians, we have exciting news to share with all of you. For those of you who are aspiring university frontliners, we are pleased to share with all of you that we are once again opening our doors this month.
Yeah. Any addition?
So first and foremost, you will have our orientation on the 24th. So this interview might not be sufficient to really get a glimpse of what it's like to be a campus ambassador. So we are encouraging you guys to join the orientation so that you will be oriented and you will be able to meet the rest of the campus ambassadors who will be talking in the orientation as well.
And on September 25 to 27, we'll be having our panel interview. The orientation itself is not a prerequisite, but it's highly encouraged to know more about the core can do to a student. And it's also important that we wear semi-formal attire for the panel interview.
All right.
And of course, for formal updates, you can always check our Facebook page, leave a like and a follow, the Silliman University Corps of Campus Ambassadors.
Thank you very much, Jed, Zed, Kent, and Ray for gracing now #Silliman. And I hope you were inspired by their stories. And I also hope that you will be next time. We will be interviewing you as part of the organization. And that would be all. Thank you very much for staying with us. This is #Silliman, and to God be the glory. Hey there, Sillimanians! Thank you for watching #Silliman. Please don't forget to follow our Facebook page. That is #Silliman, and we also have a YouTube account still, #Silliman. Please click the notification bell for more updates, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. And also catch us at Channel 6 Field Products every Monday at 8 p.m. Replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. On behalf of Joshua Soldivillo, this is Ronelyn Faith C. Vailoces-No. See you next week for Kita Kids, only here on #Silliman.